that a badger? Hello?
This right here is a YouTuber named Daniel O'Neill, who in August of 2024 uploaded a video titled "Never Been So Scared When Camping" on his channel English Woodsman. He frequently uploads footage of his outdoor camping experiences while traveling across the UK. In this particular video, Daniel decided to go camping in the woods somewhere in the UK. As he explores the area, he points out to his viewers the footprints and trash left by other campers. After walking for a bit, he sets up his camp and decides to settle down. Everything up to this point appears to be normal. However, about 30 minutes into the video, while showcasing the camping gear he brought, he suddenly hears footsteps behind him and calls out to whoever is out there.
And rain camping is really good. Is that a badger? Hello?
After hearing the disturbing footsteps, he got up to investigate his surroundings, and the footsteps suddenly stopped, indicating that someone was indeed watching over him. After searching everywhere, he unfortunately didn't find anything. However, as soon as he sat down, he heard the footsteps again, but this time they were louder and closer.
There's that noise again now. Hello? Hello? You got to better hear that. There's nobody here. And it sounds like someone's just walking around. I can handle it. Can you wear it? It's like it's just there.
After hearing the noise for the second time, he called them out multiple times but didn't get any response. Fortunately, the noises eventually stopped. While most people would have likely left the forest by then, Daniel chose to stay overnight. As the night began to set in, he enjoyed his dinner and decided to go to bed.
I'm actually breaking wind. I'm quite scared, people. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. If it's a human, they come up and laugh at me, scaring the hell out of me, but this is going to be a long night if I'm nervous like this and scared now. I need to know what this sound is. It's not like it was, it's like and then it stops. I'm only talking to you guys because it sort of like helps me a little bit. I'm going to be honest, I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this a load of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot, like, now.
As he was trying to fall asleep, he couldn't stop thinking about those mysterious footsteps. His fear and paranoia grew, ultimately leading him to leave the forest. Many comments left by Daniel's viewers mention that he made the right choice by trusting his gut feeling and leaving the forest. The source of the footsteps is still unknown, but they likely came from someone following him while trying to stay out of sight. Their true intentions are unclear, but based on their actions, they were probably up to no good. Nevertheless, it was definitely the right decision for Daniel to leave the forest.
There is a lot of noises in these woods. Sounds like kids screaming. That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming.
This right here is a YouTuber named Louise, who in January of 2019 uploaded a video titled "The Most Scared I've Ever Been" while camping on her channel Camper Vibe. Her channel primarily showcases her outdoor adventures throughout the UK as she travels in her camper van. In this particular video, Louise went camping alone in a place called the Daring Woods, situated in Pluckley, England. Pluckley is known as one of the most haunted villages in England. The village is even listed in the Guinness Book of Records as the most haunted village in Britain. However, Louise had no knowledge of this when she chose to go camping there. As she ventured into the woods, she demonstrated to her viewers how she set up her campsite and chopped wood for a fire. While cooking dinner, she mentioned hearing strange noises in the distance, but she chose to ignore them and continued preparing her dinner. However, as she began eating her meal, she heard the strange noises again, and that's when things took a very disturbing turn.
I don't know if you can see, a Cadbury's Pot of Joy. Yogurt, basically, chocolate yogurt. There is a lot of noises in these woods. Sounds like kids screaming. That's a bird. That's a gunshot. I don't know if you'll be able to hear a lot of this, it's pretty distant, but it sounds like kids screaming. Honestly, I've never known a woods with so many strange noises. It's not just your normal birds and stuff. Well, I don't really know how to describe it, but I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big beam? What was that noise? This is definitely odd. I've got no idea if you guys heard that or not, but honestly, I don't like it, I'm gonna be honest. It's not deer, like I know what deer sound like.
After hearing the noises several times, she began to explore the woods to investigate the source of the strange noises. After searching for a while and not finding anything suspicious, she decided to settle in and go to sleep. However, at around 2 in the morning, she was awakened by loud footsteps right next to her tent.
There's been a person or persons. But I've never wanted the morning to come as much as I do right now.
After this chilling experience, she mentioned that the loud footsteps were made by more than one person. A few minutes later, as she gathered the courage to look outside her tent, she heard crows flying away, suggesting that someone or something had startled the sleeping crows.
The light on earlier because I swear to God that was footsteps. This is definitely the scariest night I've ever had in a tent. I'm sure I can still hear footsteps.
As the night came to a close, she gathered her things and safely returned to her van. While providing her viewers with a detailed update on her experiences, she made a quick Google search about the area and found out that she had indeed spent the night in the most haunted village in the UK. As for the unsettling noises and footsteps she heard earlier, they were likely caused by someone lurking around her campsite. However, since she never identified who or what was responsible for those sounds, it remains an unsolved mystery.
I think someone's outside the van. 2:30. Someone just tried the door.
This right here is a YouTuber named Brendan, who in February of 2024 uploaded a video titled Scary Attack While Van Camping on his channel Brendan Explores. His channel is dedicated to outdoor exploration, and he frequently uploads footage of his stealth camping experiences while traveling across the UK in his camper van. In this particular video, Brendan chose to go stealth camping near a residential area located at Jaywick Sands Beach. Brendan begins the video by parking his van in a nearby parking area and exploring the local surroundings. However, he finds the area too strange and noisy for his liking, as he hears many bikes and cars racing around him. Therefore, he decides to drive about 30 minutes to a nearby forest. After locating a good spot to park his van, he felt satisfied with the quiet and peaceful surroundings, and it seemed like he was alone in the woods. As the night began to set in, Brendan enjoyed his dinner and decided to go to bed around 10 p.m. However, at approximately 2:30 a.m., he was suddenly awakened by the sound of footsteps outside his van. It was at this moment that Brendan encountered something truly disturbing.
Nice and quiet here. Not even a sound of a distant car. Just how I like it. It's absolutely dead quiet. I'll see you in the morning.
I think someone's outside the van.
Right, whoever the that was has now gone.
After hearing someone trying to unlock his side door, and then moments later witnessing the glass of his passenger side window shatter into pieces, Brendan quickly shouted at the individuals and stepped out of his van. Unfortunately, the person ran off before Brendan could confront or identify anyone. After this bizarre encounter, Brendan, without thinking twice, drove 3 hours back to his house. The next morning, Brendan gave a detailed update to his viewers and mentioned that the individual who attempted to break into his car likely saw his fridge sitting on the passenger seat. When they failed to unlock the doors, they broke the glass window in an effort to steal the fridge, or even the van itself. However, when they heard Brendan shout and realized someone was inside the van, they quickly fled back to their own cars. Despite his van being damaged, Brendan was fortunately unharmed during the break-in and managed to safely make it back home. He later mentioned that out of the hundreds of camping trips he has taken, this was the most scared he has ever been. However, he also stated that he wouldn't let this disturbing encounter stop him from camping in the future.
This guy is really starting to freak me out. It's been like a half an hour and he just keeps on moving his vehicle, so he's just staring me down and I'm afraid to go up the front there, but...
The more I think about it, the stranger it gets. But my gut were telling me, don't stay there.
In April of 2023, a YouTuber named Gaz uploaded a pretty disturbing video on his channel Grizzly Gaz in which he recorded footage of his strange encounter in the woods. His channel mostly featured him camping in some pretty extreme conditions with his French bulldog named Fendi. His videos are usually very wholesome and exciting, however, in this particular video that was not the case. In the video, Gaz along with his dog Fendi went camping in the woods somewhere in the UK. Initially, he showed his viewers how he set up his tent and chopped wood to start a fire. Everything seemed fairly normal up to this point. However, as he started to prepare his dinner, a random stranger in jeans and a coat appeared out of nowhere at his campsite and asked him for a beer and some food, which caused this to happen.
Right, we've got steaks on go now. Bit of ribeye. Pot boiling for some mash. And I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. I shit me pants. This is Martin anyway.
Hey.
I don't know him, but he's stopping for a steak, so
just some random crate wandering about.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was. I could have been. It's possible.
Right, gonna get these cooked up.
Even though the encounter between Gaz and Martin seemed pretty friendly, it's still very scary to suddenly be approached by a random guy in the middle of nowhere. If you listen closely to what he's saying, some of his sentences are a little peculiar, and he appears to slur his words when he talks. While they were enjoying their dinner, Martin mentioned that he was homeless and told Gaz the story about how he had ruined his life with drugs. To make things even more creepy, Gaz mentioned that while they were having dinner, he turned around for a few seconds to chop some more wood to keep the fire going, and when he turned back around, Martin had disappeared.
That lad, Martin, who creeped up behind me asking for a light. After I fed him, he scurried straight off. I did ask Martin if he's been creeping about in these woods before, but thinking, is he going to come back? The more I think about it, the stranger it gets. I turned round to cut some firewood up, and when I turned back round, he'd gone. And I just found that really strange. The fact that he just left has put the EBGBs up me. But I've left my trail camera down there. We'll go back in the morning. But my gut were telling me, don't stay there. So I packed up, thrown a load of water on fire. Now I'm making my way out.
After the strange encounter, Gaz finally decided to leave the campsite and head home. He was afraid that the man might come back to rob him. As he had expensive filming equipment with him, there was also the possibility that the man might do something even worse to him. Out of curiosity, Gaz left a trail camera on one of the trees at the campsite to see if the man would return that night. To his surprise, when Gaz went back the next morning, the trail camera had been stolen.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night.
Keep hearing the strange noise up on the top of the mountain.
This right here is a YouTuber named Jason, who in April of 2019 uploaded a video to his channel Appy Mountain Trekkers in which he recorded footage of his solo overnight trip to the mountains. His channel mostly focuses on outdoor activities, and he frequently uploads videos of his solo adventures. However, on this particular day, during his hike up the mountains, he encountered something truly disturbing. As soon as he arrives at the campsite, Jason begins setting up his tent and shows his viewers how he starts a fire as the sun begins to set. While waiting for nightfall, he decides to try spoon carving. This is when he hears a strange sound coming from the woods.
Keep hearing the strange noise up on the top of the mountain. I can't figure out what that is. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it sounds like some kind of, almost sounds like a bird, but it doesn't. Of course it quits. I'm hearing things. This may be a long night.
As the sound was coming from the top of one of the mountains, he dismissed it as a bird or some other small animal and continued setting up for the night. At about 9 in the evening, he turned off his camera to go to bed, but just an hour later, he was woken up by a scary sound that he said he'd never heard before and described it as a strange growling animal call.
Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10 and I was trying to go to sleep. I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on this ridge behind me, behind camp. But it was like 4 calls, almost like a communication call of some kind. I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
After the jarring awakening, he attempts to go back to sleep. However, just a few hours later, around 1 a.m., he wakes up once more to what he describes as the sound of something or someone circling his tent.
It's about 1 o'clock. I woke up again. I heard something circling my camp. Whatever it is, it's close. I heard that. Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them. And it started on the other side of my camp. Went around my perimeter.
If you look closely at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you can see the reflection of what appears to be 1 or 2 sets of eyes as he pans his flashlight over them. Although there are many animals with eyes that reflect light at night based on the fiery white color of the reflection, it's very likely that Jason was being observed by wolves or coyotes. If this were the case, Jason would be in grave danger. However, he doesn't even seem to notice the eyes watching him as he scans the area with his flashlight. Luckily, he went back to his tent and slept safely through the night. When he woke up the next morning, he recorded another update for his viewers, but he never mentioned the eyes that his camera had captured the night before, suggesting he might have never noticed.